All right, friends, who is ready to get through the summer creative slump? Yes, that would be me. All right, I'm going to prep some journal pages super fast, easy, really pretty, and you can do the same for your journals. So this is my old book. Yes, I did it upside down, whatever. I have already put some white acrylic paint on here, and I like to glue together maybe 3 or 4 pages so that it gives it a little bit of oomph and something to stick to. I have water-soluble oil pastels. I will link these. I got these on Amazon. I have more of my white paint from Michaels, paintbrush, spray bottle, and paper towels. Ready? Here we go. First of all, what color should we do? That's pretty much very often the first question. Since it's summer, I'm thinking of things like cantaloupe and watermelon. And let's see, my snap peas flowers out in the garden that are actually all done. So I'm going to start with those 3, I think. Oh, and my zinnias. My zinnias are going crazy. So all I'm going to do is color. This is pretty much the easiest thing you can do. And let's add a bit of orange over here. And then I'm just going to continue it over here. So I'm telling you, this is easy and it's going to be beautiful. Some other fun colors. My zinnias are coming in a pretty dark orange and yellow. I have bright pink ones. I have candy stripe ones. I always like my pink ones. But let's do some purple too, just because it's kind of moody and I get tired quickly of being inside because it's so hot. We have reverse cabin fever out here in Southern California where I am when it's over 100 for most of the summer. I often feel like I have cabin fever because we don't go out a lot. We do, but not a lot. All right. Spray with water. Spray, spray, spray. Put a pretty good amount on there because you want it to be drippy. And you can also help that drippy with your paintbrush. Ha, there we go. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get it moving. So you're probably thinking, you gotta be kidding, right? This is disgusting. No, 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 no. Wait, I promise it's gonna get better. I also like prepping my journal pages because if I don't have something ready to go, the thought of having to just stop and figure out what I want for the background, let alone on the entire page, it sometimes just kind of stops me in my tracks and I don't do as much as I want. Yeah. You knew I was going to do that, right? Right. All right, so this is pretty wet. I am going to go dry this, but I might pick up some of the excess water like this. And the fun part is it adds texture. All right, let me go dry this. I'll be right back. I'm back. Now we take some white paint. I'm going to put just a fine line on here. I'll wash off my brush. And you can do this one of two ways. You're going to want a really dry brush or an old key card. So let me start with the brush. And we're just going to start moving this paint around. I'm not real fond of this color up here. It's okay. So I will put more of a coverage on that. Otherwise, when I move my brush over this, it's not super hard. It's a very light touch. It's almost feathering it in. In fact, that's kind of thick. Okay, now the other thing you can do is if you want some of that color coming through, take your paper towel and pick up some of that paint, but then go through and knock out the rest of it. So you can play with it. Maybe go this way, this way. It's not going to stay dry forever, which is good. And there you have your first background page. Now the other way is to take your line of color and take your card and scrape over it. And this takes a little more paint. And as you scrape it, so here's the position of my card, it will naturally skip some places. You can press it down more and lift it. If you want to cover more, just press it more. Now, if you don't like these lines, you can come back in, use your brush. I like to use my finger because it almost gives it a plaster look. And then I just leave little bits of color in there. So there are two different ways of prepping your journal. Okay, so I'm going to say, if you do this, for instance, you don't like this, let's go dry it and I will show you what to do. So if you don't like this and you think, oh, I don't, yeah, it's not me. You can always fix this. And here is how I'm going to suggest it. Go back over the spots you don't like. I kind of don't mind those. And I'm going to lighten up some of this. That's not what I wanted. Whoops. Add a little bit brighter yellow in here. Then I'm going to suggest taking your paper towel, wetting it. Okay, that's fun. Nah, just go for it. And moving it around. Of course, I still have white paint on this, but that's okay. And now I've gotten just maybe 2 colors that I like a little bit better. And I can kind of still see the purple. It's not bad. And this, you're definitely going to want your paper at least 3 or 4 pages thick. Okay, so dry that. Come back and start feathering in. You notice how I say dry it and I didn't. That's okay. Take off some of that. And then I maybe want some of this to come through. That I like. It's not quite so harsh. All right, my friends, you now have 2 pages ready to go. And I'm going to come back next week and give you a couple more things to do in your art journal. So have fun, think about colors, use your favorite colors, try something new, try something neutral, whatever you would like to do. And again, if you don't like it, go back over it with the color and then do the white again. All right, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will be back next week with more. See you soon.